right, should be going here in just a little bit, making sure everything is up and working, and so far it looks like it is, so good news there. Welcome to Wednesday evening. It is the early part of the evening, give or take, somewhere in there. We're coming up on 10 o'clock Eastern time. And as for tonight, again, decently quiet conditions will be expected across the area. We do have clouds, yes, but we don't have anything in the way of rainfall because of that nice dry air that dropped in from out of Canada, doing a very good job of making certain that our humidity levels are low. Our temperatures were a lot lower than what they have been, and this morning was absolutely beautiful, even sweatshirt weather. Hard to believe I could actually wear a sweatshirt in late August with cooler weather like that out there. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. This is Weather Overtime. This is our online video weather blog we get to whenever we possibly can to give you an idea as to what's going on with the forecast. Over the next few days, again, conditions will continue just pretty much spot on. We may up the temperatures a little bit, but really not seeing too much of anything going on in the way of major amounts of issues out there, so definitely some good news on that. We will give you an update on the 7-day forecast in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Again, the tropics are going to be of big concern, so we're going to talk about that coming up here in just a little while, so definitely want to stay tuned for more there. Again, if you have a question, email, drop them on into the Twitch stream chat or into the chat function on our YouTube page. Glad to have you along, and thanks a lot for dropping by to see what's going on with the weather in the area. From the downtown camera looking off to the east, and again, decently calm and dry weather for right now. Not seeing, again, too much in the way of concerns whether it comes to visibility or heavy amounts of rainfall, but we may be looking again at the potential of more areas of rain showers out there through the rest of the evening and otherwise. From the News 12 studio camera from around the area of 33rd and Broad Street, if you're in and around this location, again, just not seeing a lot going on. You're actually looking where sunset was and looking up and across the north flank of Lookout Mountain. We'll swing the camera around here. Hold on for some vertigo. Don't pay attention too closely on this as the camera whips around. But we do see, again, the very clear conditions out there and not seeing any problems with anything in the way of rain for travelers across the area tonight. From the Tomahawk crane and rigging camera, we do have some issues taking place, it looks like, on 24 eastbound. Hopefully that is not a major concern. Looks like it's construction more than anything else taking place, and hopefully, again, not a problem. Again, that's 75, 24 eastbound to 75 north is where the problem is, and you can see, again, also the traffic merging underneath that from 75 south coming in from North Georgia. So a decent amount of traffic here. Again, this is south central Chattanooga. T-Dot camera not showing anything in the way of direct areas where we're seeing, again, the major problems. But again, if you're in this location or heading through, looks like construction it is for tonight. Don't have the T-Dot cameras available in this area. To the east of this location, back up toward Brainerd Road, Gun Barrel Road, back into around the area of Shallowford Road, everything appears to be moving on pretty nicely at this time. Temperatures in the high 60s. It's comfortable. We had fairly dry amounts of humidity earlier. Now with nighttime creeping on, we've got 70% humidity and beautiful conditions out there for tonight. It's a little bit on the muggy side. It's not bad. The almanac page, this is where things really got interesting for today. Taking a look at the temperatures overall, 81 was our high. That's the warmest temperature we've had all week so far. 80 degrees Tuesday and Monday. And normal for this time of the year is about 89 degrees. So we did manage to pick up, again, well below normal temperatures here. 21 degrees below the record high. 1936 was a very hot year across the United States. 102 the record, so 21 degrees below the record. But this is the best news of all right here. 55 degrees this morning for a low temperature. We came within 2 of a record low that hasn't been set since World War II. So that is a nice little dip in the temperatures out there, and quite nice to see. Of course, thanks to 2 weeks and 1 day ago, that heavy rainfall that came through, we are well ahead for both the month and for the year. So we've got more than enough as of right now with rainfall in and around the Chattanooga area. What can we expect in the semi-near future? Well, unfortunately, it is going to be getting a little warmer out there. We do have, again, the potential for more in the way of dry weather. We do have some moisture coming in from the west. That is all due to the moisture rolling in from off the Pacific across the continental United States and then moving into our area. We're picking up the clouds. If you go out and take a look right now, you'll see those clouds if you're in and around Chattanooga. By the way, that's where we're coming from, News 12, downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. The moisture out here from Kansas down to Arkansas, it's moving into this very dry air. So it's a good possibility that we will not see any rainfall for the next couple of days. Now, as our next storm systems begin to develop well back to our west, we may see the potential of some more rainfall coming on through. For right now, we're looking again at dry conditions for the next several days. Good news into the beginning of the holiday weekend, but we also see again an area of low pressure and also a tropical storm, Juliet, way out around the Baja coastline, pushing all this moisture onshore across the continental United States. And again, that's where our clouds are coming from for tonight, giving us not much in the way of rainfall, but again, just cloud cover out there, and that is pretty much it for right now. We do have the potential again of seeing more areas of rainfall into the weekend. We also, according to the Climate Prediction Center, are looking at the potential of some nicer weather. Climate Prediction Center's short-range forecast is showing early September well below normal temperatures. Now, according to the latest 30-day forecast, the medium-range models, we are going to be warming up by just a little bit. Let me see if I have this here. Yes, the latest is showing again warmer, but not exactly blazing hot. That's for the Four Corners, Intermountain West area, and also for New England. Not great news for them at this point, looking again at the possibility of some warmer numbers. And as we go from September, October into November, the next 3 months are showing the potential of us warming up very nicely. Again, not seeing anything in the way of huge amounts of heat. That also looks to be confined well back over to our west, but it is going to be a little bit warmer into the course of the next few days. Now, we don't stand too much in the way of seeing anything in the way of huge amounts of rainfall, but there is going to be the potential that a lot of that rain coming in from out west is going to swing down toward the Gulf of Mexico. No tropical systems at this time, but that always bears watching for right now. And then we could pick up some heavier rainfall here, and that could be a bit of an issue taking place. So not early on, but as we go into around Friday, that threat of flash flooding heads back to the north. Atlanta, Birmingham, around the area of I-20, that could be a problem. And then for Saturday, again, southern parts of the viewing area, northeast Alabama, north central Georgia, just below western North Carolina. And then for Sunday, that threat really starts to move north. So there will be increasing chances of showers and thunderstorms that could bring us some heavy rainfall. It doesn't look like much, but it is something, again, to pay attention to, and for good reason on that. Shifting gears for just a second and illustrating this as an object point, our weather picture of the day, brought to you by Clay Kistner Paving and Seal Coating, takes a look at the area about the time those heavy rains hit about 2 weeks ago. 28th and Rossville Boulevard, that's southeast of the News 12 viewing area by a couple of miles, but you see what it looks like when the drains are blocked up by garbage or otherwise. And this person here not doing a very smart thing. You should never drive through water-covered roadways. This could be the last mistake he or she ever made. This is, again, a dangerous situation you do not want to be putting yourself into. And notice where the water is. It's all the way up into the engine block. It should be coming into the doors of the car, which are not watertight, waterproof, but not watertight. And a lot of other folks out there turning around and heading the other direction. Thank you very much, Heather Davis from Chattanooga, Tennessee, for, again, our Clay Kistner paving and seal coating weather window picture of the day. This, again, is a very good recommendation, a very good proof and example why you should not drive through water-covered areas. You don't know what's floating in it. You don't know how fast the water is rushing through. Remember, it only takes 6 to 12 inches of rain of rushing water to move a car, including an SUV or a delivery truck. If it's moving fast enough, that's some very big amounts of force moving that down the line. So that, again, is something to really consider for safety's sake in the next couple of days. So again, please use caution and common sense there. Now, what are we looking for in the way of precipitation? Not much of anything shaping up at this time. For the early morning hours, it's going to be cool. Not exactly looking, again, at chilly weather. We had some 40s out there this morning, but really not much of anything else than that. It will be, again, maybe a jacket or a sweatshirt type weather, but that's going to be about it. Don't forget to join News 12's Chip Chapman. He'll have a forecast update for you coming up Thursday morning bright and early, so stay tuned for more on that. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast. And again, taking a look at the area around Island Cove Marina and Resort over the waters of Lake Chickamauga. Looking back to the west, a spectacular sunset earlier tonight. And numbers, again, very much on the mild side. Remember, normal for this time of the year, just below 90 degrees. So we will warm up a little bit, but then stay in the lower 80s for the next few days. For late August, early September, that is very good news. So that, again, is where we are seeing the good news on the temperatures. A little warmer, not bad. Chances of rain into around the Labor Day holiday weekend. Hopefully nothing that's going to be causing a problem with outdoor activities, grilling, camping, boating, whatever it is you're going to be doing out there to celebrate the laborers of our country. The Saturday and Sunday potential, again, it's not much, but it will be the possibility of seeing a marginal, that's a 1 out of 4, like we showed you on the maps earlier, to where we could see, again, the possibility of, again, chances of rain and thunderstorms out there. Not a great deal, but this is something to pay attention to, especially this right here. So keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll keep you advised as to what we may be seeing in the course of the next several days. Going into September, again, if it stays mild like this, we could easily be in the triple digits. That is not happening for right now, so definitely some good news where that is concerned on there. Now, want to check out, again, what's going on into the tropics. We have one storm system. We have Fernand. That, again, is mid-ocean, northwest Atlantic, somewhere in there. Notice that there is hardly anything in the way of moisture surrounding the center of circulation. The center of circulation where the letter F is, and all that, again, is where we should be seeing a lot of swirling clouds out there. We're not getting that right now because this is surrounded by dry, stable air. And into the next several days, according to the National Hurricane Center, this storm really has less chance of surviving the next 48 hours than anything else. So by Friday morning, that more than likely will wind up at that point in time on Friday being the last update or close to the last update from the National Hurricane Center. Now, that being said, taking a farther look out into the Atlantic, there is nothing going on at this time. However, the Climate Prediction Center, which takes a look at the medium and long-range forecasts for tropical activity, is showing better potential over into the Pacific off the west coast of Mexico, from West Africa to the Caribbean, the Leeward Islands, into the early part of September. That is where we see an uptick in the potential of tropical weather beginning to develop. Now, at this time of the year, again, running up to September 10th, which marks the midpoint of the season, that right there is showing an additional 20% possibility in the way of storms developing. But watch this area right here. We're going to go from week 2 to week 3. That 20% area expands in size, and then we also have a 40% possibility into that same area. Also, look back toward the Gulf of Mexico and the Western Caribbean, an uptick in potential development around the area here. Now, that also, again, is something to watch out for. The reason we're showing you this is not to panic anybody, as I have been accused of in the past, of which I do not do professionally, to let you know what's going on, to make it available, the best information for you to make a decision. And I say this because as we get into the next couple of months, including fall break, a lot of people may be taking vacation, a quick beach weekend vacation possibly, and you do not want to be going into an area you're going to have to turn right back out of and go away from, because people have to head away from a potentially dangerous situation involving a tropical system. So now is the time to really pay attention to forecasts like this. Again, if you're planning anything, great, go ahead and get it on the books. Just be prepared to make certain that you have a good fallback plan B, to make certain that you can get out of the way of anything that is developing. So over the next several weeks, again, the peak of hurricane season is September the 10th. We're coming close to that, but that means we still have September, October, and November to go through, and that is where we can pick up 2005. Was any indication, it's a good possibility that we could see, again, an above normal scenario for the course of the next several weeks and months. And this is very important because of the fact that, again, we have seen some exceptionally warm conditions in the Gulf. Anything above 80 degrees Fahrenheit on this map is rocket fuel for these thunderstorms. Now notice, again, in some locations, especially where that loop current is involved, right on through the Gulf of Mexico, southwestern Cuba, and into parts of the Bahamas. That is where we could see the potential of 90, and this is right off the coast of Tampa down toward the Keys. We have the potential here of water temperatures of 90 degrees plus. That is exceptionally powerful fuel for anything that develops into and around portions of the rest of this area of the world. Now, this is kind of interesting to take a look at, because if you take a look right through here, that lower temperature, it's still above 80 degrees, so it can be a good development point and assist for any storm systems out there. This right here, this little channel going through here of slightly cooler water, that was Hurricane Aaron's path. And as it went through, these storms stir up the top level of water on the ocean. They do what's called upwelling. They spread the warmer water out. They cool the water with the rain on the surface, and then colder water gets pushed upwards to the surface. And that right there, where that arrow is pointing, that is the best potential that we see for that cooler water, so we can track Aaron from what is left over from those cooler temperatures. So kind of neat to be able to see that, excuse me, across portions of the area there. But thanks to climate change, we are seeing again the best potential for really major quick development of these systems into the Gulf, the Caribbean, and parts of the Atlantic. So this is something to really watch out for. Again, anywhere along the ocean, you want to watch and see what is coming your direction. Again, please use caution and common sense out there. That's going to be one of the best things that you can possibly do. So again, please be weather aware in the next few months. One of the first Earth-centric songs was the 1974 #1 R&B hit and #4 on the pop charts, Mercy Mercy Me, The Ecology. Who was that by? The Four Tops, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, or Marvin Gaye, whom we lost in 1984. It was, in fact, Marvin Gaye. 89% of you got the right decision on that one, including our two anchors, Kay Blevins and Andrew Harrison, for tonight. We'll have a new poll coming up at midnight and plenty of other polls available, again, at wdef.com/vote now if you'd like to take a look and see what it is that is out there and available. Want to reiterate a couple things here before we wrap up. Let's go ahead and take a look let me see, school day forecast here. Get rid of this. Thank you, roofquotes.com, for being our sponsor on there. Going to be mild but dry in the morning and mild and dry in the afternoon. No rain gear necessary as we get into and around Thursday afternoon. So car rider line to and from school should not be, again, too much of a problem on that one. Want to make certain everybody's paying attention to this now when nothing is going on. That is a very good time to get ready for severe weather. National Weather Service Morristown can help you do that. Go to weather.gov/MRX and learn more about how you can take a virtual Skywarn training class. You become the eyes and ears of the National Weather Service. You get a special toll-free number to call and report what's going on in your location, and you give them your phone number so that they can call you and say, hey, Skywarn spotter John or Jane Smith, are you located near XYZ coordinates or town or city? And you can help them spot weather and keep a lot of other people safe from your training with Skywarn. Now is the time to really consider getting that done. So please consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. We are coming up on severe weather season number 2, October through, again, December. So now's the time to make certain you're getting ready for that on there. Also, if you don't have a weather radio, please purchase one. If you do have one and haven't programmed them yet, again, they're more like computers with a radio attached. You program the computer to accept or reject whatever warnings you want or don't want, respectively. It's easy to do. We have a website that can help you do that at wdef.com/weather. So please make certain you get there. These are life-saving pieces of equipment. So please, again, make certain that you get yours in time. A little further afield for right now, again, toward the end of the week. Very good news for Friday night football. Should be a almost picture-perfect evening. We should see, again, some fairly high dew point temperatures, so it may be a little sultry out there, especially early on, but then toward halftime, we should be seeing temperatures down, winds light, so no problem with the passing game or the kicking game out there. And then sunset also, again, at 8:11, we're rapidly losing daylight. We're less than a month away from the equinox, so we are coming up on the darker days of the year, so enjoy that sunlight while you can out there. Think that should do it for tonight. Again, we've got more potential of rain here and there, but really just not seeing too much of anything. Pardon the gray space. Unfortunately, I had to move around a lot of graphics, so we'll just do a generic one here to fill in the space. Being the graphics operator, cameraman, audio producer for these shows, I have to make certain that everything is where it needs to be. So again, taking a look at the forecast for tonight, again, watching the graphics behind me, keeping you up to date on stuff. That's just a small part of what we do here at News 12, and always glad to bring you along for more information. And if there's anything we can do to answer your questions about weather, no matter where you are, we'll do our best to help out on that. If you'd like to contact us here, again, website at the bottom portion of the screen, email address aonic@wdef.com if you'd like to contact me there directly. Thanking our unofficial sponsor, Chloe's Giant Cookies from back in Memphis and Germantown, Tennessee. If you've never ordered her cookies before, you really need to do so. They're about the size of a compact disc, and they're about as thick as your wrist, and she's got tons of great flavors. They go very quickly, so definitely want to pay attention to her social media and everything else. Chloe, in the name of Chloe's Giant Cookies, was my producer back at our last TV station, our last mutual station in Memphis. She was executive producer for the morning show, had a great time working for her. She's truly one of the best people that Memphis has to offer. She developed this cookie company during the pandemic with her husband, Tyler. She's a great person. Really great to see her being successful with this. But if you want to take a look at some great cookies and order these online, they are absolutely excellent. I can't talk enough about them. Try the Tipsy George. That's one of my particular favorites out there. I think we'll have to get maybe a slideshow going of the cookies. That would be kind of neat to be able to see that going through here. But again, chloesgiantcookies.com if you'd like to take a look around. Formerly Bluff Cakes, if you didn't see that particular website available there. But again, thanks to Chloe for doing a great job. Her husband, her family, everybody in there pitching in for a great small business. And you can support them. Again, go to chloesgiantcookies.com if you have any questions on that or to sample some of those great cookies that she has. I think that should do it for right now. Again, Chip Chapman will be in with your forecast in the morning. I'll have more details tomorrow evening. And again, if you have any questions, email address at the bottom of the screen to contact us here at News 12. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onig. This has been the Wednesday edition of News 12's exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. And of course, we'll see you again, hopefully, coming up on Thursday.